Hey, so I've never done one of these before. So in January, my New Year's resolution was to get healthy. And I hadn't been to the doctor in a while, so I decided that since I'm now working at a doctor's office, getting to know the doctors over the last year, I felt really comfortable. So I did. And I went to my checkup, got, the blood work done and all that stuff. And my doctor asked me about some swelling in my neck. And I said, well, I've had it, a few years. Just thought it was because I was fat. So he's like, well, just to be safe, let's go have your throat get an ultrasound. So I did. And within a couple days, he's like, so there seems to be a couple of little nodules on, one side of your thyroid. So we're just going to go get a fine needle aspiration. It's probably nothing, and we'll go from there. Okay. So I called and made the appointment. Now, I saw my doctor for the first time on January 14th. On February 8th, I went and had the fine needle aspiration. That was a Friday. On Tuesday, he called me into his office and said, your biopsy came back positive for thyroid cancer. Wow. It was really quick. I just kind of sat there and was like, okay, didn't know much about it. Never really knew anyone that had it. But, I was like, okay, so what do I do next? So then, I was driving home, and one of his amazing nurses called me and said, I have you an appointment tomorrow morning, 8:15. You're going to meet with the surgeon, the other doctor, that will, specializes in those things. Cool. Next day, Eric and I go in, and he's like, all right, so we're going to take your whole thyroid out because you have cancer, and then we'll go from there. So it was like, it was just bizarre. So I was in surgery a week later. I've never had surgery before. I've never been under anesthesia before. I've never even stayed in the hospital other than to have my kids. So it was just like everything just went really fast. Whew. So he was very reassuring, though, that this is not, a very uncommon cancer. It's actually can be treated just with the surgery. Possibly have to do some iodine therapy, but he said if you would have opened a book and picked a cancer, this would have been you picked the best one. So I was like, okay, cool. Not really, but so I went the next week, went into surgery. They took out my thyroid, and didn't like that. Lots of pain. They intubate you and stick something down your nose, and I had several blown veins in my hands, and the overnight stay, my hospital suite mate was not pleasant. That's a whole nother video. So, so it's been about 2 weeks now, since, 2 weeks and 3 days. And I thought, hey, I'll bounce back from this. I'll be back to work in week and a half. I was wrong. I was so very wrong. So it took a little while to get feeling okay. I slept in a chair for about a week because getting in and out, you don't realize how many neck muscles you use to pull yourself up from the laying down to a seating position. And it didn't feel good. So I went for my post-op checkup. They took out the stitches, which I don't think I'm going to have that bad of a scar. It's still a little swollen, and it itches. I'm sure you guys know that when you get a cut or anything, and it's just, I just want to claw my neck off. But I went and got the stitches out, and then this past Thursday, I finally got to see an endocrinologist, and she told me, which was great, that because of the size of the tumor, I don't need to do the radioactive iodine, which is great. I mean, it's a little, like, nervous because I'm like, oh, what if I don't do it? And then there's a little piece back in there, and I end up, it moving into my lymph nodes or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But, I'm like, okay, great. So I don't have to do that. And she started me, finally, on a thyroid medication because I haven't had any thyroid hormone for 2 weeks since it was removed. And so I started that yesterday, took the second dose today. And I don't know how long it takes for this stuff or for your body to adjust and become, accustomed to it, but today's been rough. I just feel like, my body's not mine. Like, dizzy and kind of shaky inside. Like my hands aren't shaking, but you know how sometimes when you're really tired, you feel shaky inside? And it doesn't help. I haven't gotten a good night's sleep since I had the surgery because, well, it hurts to roll around, and then night sweats really bad, and just not able to sleep. So yesterday, Eric took me to the beach, which was great because I haven't been out of the house much, going to the store and stuff a little bit, but it was awesome. We got to sit there and tried to fish, didn't catch anything, and I couldn't cast. I couldn't cast that thing to save my life. But I saw a turtle, and I saw some stingrays, and, so it was good. By the time I got home, I couldn't function. I felt like I was just a couple days out of the hospital again. And I actually did sleep for a couple of hours. I took a nap. But then last night, I tossed and I turned and tried to sleep. And I think I got sleep from 2:30 to about 4:45. And then from about 5:30 to 6:30. And I've just been so emotional today. And I think a lot of it is because, one, I haven't had any sleep, and two, this medication. And I know it's going to take, they say it takes, 2 to 4 weeks, depending on you and your body and the medicine and stuff, how people adjust. But it's bad, and I don't like it, and I don't like not feeling in control of what's going on. And you hear the word cancer and it's scary, but then it's but nothing was really that wrong with me. I didn't feel sick. I didn't feel like there was anything wrong, and they took it out, and now I'm good. So did I really, is it something that I should have been more concerned about? Or you hear people all the time going, oh yeah, I'm a cancer survivor, and I think to myself, I don't feel like that. I don't feel like I deserve a title like that, since I didn't really go through what people have gone through, with more severe cases of it. My brother, he passed away from it, and watching him was painful. And so I don't feel like, I don't know, it's so hard to put into words. I don't feel like I'm justified in telling people or that I can carry that moniker, you know? I don't know. Like I said, today is crazy. I'm all emotional and whacked out on this shit that's stuff that's in my body. I don't know. And it just all happened like so fast. From the time I had the needle aspiration to the time I was in surgery was 12 days. Like 12 days. And literally 8 days from the time I found out, I was sitting in a pre-op room going, what's just happened? And I'm still kind of, what's just happened? And I have to be on this, medication for the rest of my life. And it's just a thyroid, but it's like, there's a part of your body that's gone. Like, it's gone. Like, they took it. I don't know. I look at these women and men, with surviving breast cancer, and I see some of them come into the doctor's office, and I can't imagine just the way I feel about what I went through, having to go through what they do, or what they have been, or what they have still to look forward to. Like, I can't even fathom how that must feel. And I don't want to. I don't want to know, because this was scary enough for me, and I can take this, this was mine, and I don't know. And let me tell you, the one thing that's the most important to have around you is your friends and family. I mean, Hunter came down here from North Carolina and slept on the couch next to me, my chair, for like 5 or 6 nights. Jake was bringing me popsicles and helping me in and out of the chair, and Eric was just, I can't even talk about how great he was. There aren't words. And my friends that kept in touch with me and called me, and the people that I work with, all of them, flowers and cards, and Jen, the blanket, amazing. And it makes me think, what do people do that don't have what I am so blessed to have? What do they do? How do they get through it? It's sad, because I'm sure there are people out there that are doing this on their own with much worse conditions than I have. But I am so lucky that I went to the doctor that I went to, and then got the surgeon that I got, and the people around me that helped me get into appointments and, supported me. I mean, who knows how long I'd been walking around with that, and if it hadn't been checked out or looked at, or how much longer I could have walked around with it, and it could have been a lot worse. And it seemed like every step was supported and explained, and I don't know, it's hard to put into words how lucky I was. How lucky I am. But, so, I don't know if anybody will ever see this, but if you do, and you're one of those people that helped me and supported me and prayed for me, and thank you. Like, thank you so, so much. And I love every one of you for what you've done for me and my family. And hopefully these meds will kick in soon. I can stop being a blubbering mess. Alright. I'll see everybody soon.